Hello. I'm full on absolutely 100% confused right now. I just finished the making of these pieces and I put a smudge on the corner. So this is the first time I ever used oil pastels. Those oil pastels I bought 2018, I think, in a supermarket in Greece. I set them aside because I didn't like oil at the time, but they literally just cost €2. And I thought €2, you can't do anything wrong with it. I follow a lot of artists on YouTube, and some of them do from time to time do oil pastels. I knew you had to layer them because it's like oil, right? You need to smooth them, to blend them out, whatever. Let's start with the tiny painting. By the way, I always... there goes the pencil. I always had a smudge paper by hand if something went too colorful, that I can blend it out on the paper and get rid of the color. Let's start with this one. So my basic stuff I always do when I try a new art supply is a platypus. You probably know me by now, or if you're new, you don't know me. The platypus is my absolute favorite animal. They are easy to draw, they are fun to draw, I like them. I enjoy doing stuff with them, like my miniatures or my brush rests or my new platypus journal, whatever. They're my basic animal. Then I took some inspiration from some art I found on Kara. I have on every social media, I bookmark stuff I use to inspire me. This is one of, I think, if I remember, I will link the inspiration pieces down below, but the chances are I will forget it. So I'm sorry for that. This one does not even look close to what the original piece looked. It's fun. It's fun to think about, to be honest, but let's just say I thought, yeah, it's almost October. When this video comes out, it's probably even November. I have so many videos, I'm sorry. And this one is also inspired by a piece of an artist I follow there. Yeah. I did this one to find out if there is a possibility to make tiny adjustments, and the oil pastels are just too smoothie, just too smooth. They smush easily. Same with the color layering. This is the first time I really tried to mix the colors, because this is not meant to be coffee, this is tea. I don't drink coffee. I mean, I drink coffee, but not in a cup. Also did not make a handle because I just, it's a sketch, whatever. In the end, it was interesting. Normally, as a watercolor artist, you work lightest to darkest color. As gouache or acrylic artists, you do like whatever you like, right? What's easiest for you, because you can just layer it on and on and on. But it's easier if you start with the lightest, because those lightest colors like orange, reds, yellows, and most of the time whites do not cover well, which you can see here. Like there's still some of the pencil down there. That's okay, I don't care. These pieces are for me, I won't sell them ever, so I don't care. I like the messy look. That is something I learned today. I like the messy look of this. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Van Gogh. His impressionistic paintings made me realize that being focused too much on one side of something you want to create, I don't know how to say it, to be honest. It makes you go mad. Not in the Van Gogh way, mad style. I mean, you have to set yourself up for winning. And if you say, I want to draw something hyper-realistic, and you are someone who does not enjoy drawing hyper-realistic, you are setting yourself up for failure, right? So in my brain, you sort of didn't see that, but I tapped on my head. In my brain, I say, okay, this is a messy medium. It's like oil, right? I want to be messy. I want to have constraints. I want to work with these constraints to loosen up. This is basically like other people would do a warm-up sketch, right? For me, that is messy drawing. Messy drawing is to loosen up my brain. I don't want to think about it, whatever. And this is when I realized the moment you use more than 3 colors, it's starting to get muddy, which is logical, right? The more colors you use, the muddier it gets. That's totally normal and okay. So the next step is, after me being me and drawing the things I normally always draw, a platypus, I do the second thing I always draw, friends with feet. Friends with Feet is a series I started, oh my god, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't know. It's something I do whenever I'm absolutely bored, I do not know what to do, and the platypus is out of question because it's too simple to test stuff out. I usually do Friends with Feet. Friends with Feet are things, objects, fruits, vegetables, meat, whatever that has no feet, but with feet, with legs and feet. So my basic 2 are always the radish, which is a weird looking radish, ignore that. It's a bit flashy thinking about it, but it's just radish, and a carrot. A carrot is the second, that's probably true. It's the second most favorite thing to draw for me, because I love those folds, I love the fruity look, I love the green hair fluffing around, whatever. And then I thought, because it's almost Halloween, let's just do a pumpkin. To just really layer on and see what the heck is happening if you really layer it on. And I can say the white is going to die. At least with this set, they are probably, I mean, they are children oil pastels, so they have not even close to enough pigment to layer anything, especially the white. But the white is, I believe, more of a blending stick, to be honest. I don't think that it will ever really be white, so whatever. So yeah, the biggest question I have right now, how long does it take to dry? Will it ever dry? Is it like oil pastel, or will it never dry and you need to varnish it so it will dry? I have absolutely no idea. This is the first time ever I use this medium. And whatever is happening, my brain already loves it. The thing is, it makes no sense, because I bought oil paint some years ago, and I started to think, yeah, you're not going to do oil paint. Then I realized you can't, because the water you use has to be refurbished. I have a refurbishing system for many of my chemically polluted, that's the word, for my polluted waters, like resin water, like the oil paint water, and some of my specific acrylic paints or watercolor paints I will also put in this bucket, and this works with evaporation. So I cannot draw that often with those colors because the water in the bucket isn't evaporated yet. But now I'm sitting here and like, wait a second, why even bother when you can just use a stick? Why don't I use a stick? That's like the most basic thing on earth. Use a fucking stick. And then my brain's thinking, no. not again. Don't buy something new. Do you remember my pastel pencils? I love them so much, but I don't know when to use them, how to use them, whatever to use them. And the second thing, if this never dries, I will not be able to scan this. Because my next thought is, we're close to Christmas. Yeah, don't think about it. Yeah, please let me explain. Every time Christmas comes around, I get a bit stressed out because of the whole process. I make my Christmas cards myself. I draw stuff for friends and family. I craft stuff, whatever. And my Christmas cards need at least 2 months before Christmas, because I send them out at the beginning of December. So they all arrive at the same time, at the right time, especially because I have international stuff. And for that, I need to start in October with the design of the Christmas card, cut in October, and then write in November the text, and I'm always around 20 cards. And if this is not drying until I want to scan it in, not this piece specifically, but if I want to use this year to make the Christmas card. This is amazing. I love the idea of using different textures. But if that means that this is not drying, I would need to make a photo scan, like using a camera and stacking the photos on top of each other for the focus, and use that to print out the cards, which is a whole nother level of absolutely horrifying. But yeah, I think the longer I look at this, the more I think, my goodness, just think about the possibility, like right side, oil painting, oil pastels, left side, pastel pencils, and they're looking at each other, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, it's Christmas. We all love each other. What the heck? We are one family. I don't care how you look. You know what I mean? That is amazing. Also, I'm touching my head the whole time with this stinky hand, and I think I'm now blue all over my head. I don't think that is good. I don't think that's healthy either. There's no information at all. I don't know if they're toxic. I will never. I mean, I will not lick this finger or whatever. But I think at least one little warning would have been nice. But you can't expect us with €2. I'm convinced. I'm really convinced. Though I'm not convinced about what to do with the pencil. Because if I want to erase it, that is going to smear everything. I know that. I will not touch it. Personally, I love it. Oh no, I touched my shirt. I love that. I don't know if others like it. Do I care if the other people like it or not? I mean, if I look at this, that is super sketchy. In a sketching way, not in a sketchy, fishy way, even though there is a fish. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I will look into the drying time of oil pastels, and if you need a varnish, because I have to buy some stuff from the shop I always buy from, gas liquor. So I will, if there is a varnish, I know there is a varnish, but if there is a varnish I can use to make it dry, I will do that. If not, I will have to lay them around my atelier and hope they will dry sometime in 20 years. And I'm already talking too much again. So, thank you very much for listening. This was a journey. That was a short journey for me. An even shorter journey for you. And now I need to think about the future of this. I have no idea what's going on. But this is a 12 set piece set. 12 piece set. Yeah, that's the right way around. And I think that is all you basically need. There's a brown. There is a yellow. There is even the pink. The pink it's pink. Duh. You need a pink, you need a gray, because black and white and red and white will mix these colors, and you don't want to use up your freaking black and white. That is genius. This is the perfect set. I'm sorry. The only thing that is bugging me a bit is that I dropped the white and it broke, and that the which one? I don't know. I think, yeah, the yellow also broke, but I don't think it broke because I dropped it. I think it broke because I pressed too hard, which is fine. And now I will get a wet wipe and wipe my hand and throw that in the trash. I will not, never ever wash down oil, paint, pastels, or whatever it contains any way, shape or form some binder there for oils. Do not do that, ever, ever. That is absolutely dangerous for the environment. Don't do that, especially if you have no idea where, I mean, I know where they come from, Taiwan something. They came from Taiwan. And if you ask me, I do not read, or better to say, can't read Greek letters. I know some of them. I know that's a pastel, Taiwan, and then that goes. Abka. That's Diathin. I'm sorry. I tried to learn it because of my parents, but no chance. I'm really bad at this. I do it for a vacation I go on. I go back and learn the letters and I can read again, but after the vacation is over, I forget every single thing. But that's a P, that's the S, that's an L, lambda. Sera prosleven. That's a P, PR, pros. That's an L again, that's a lambda, I really am sorry, I'm so sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. So yeah, I will now wash my hand with a wet wipe, and I hope this color gets out of my shirt and my face. Thank you very much for watching, and we see and hear each other again sometime soon, whenever that will be. Bye bye. Ow!
I'm not done barely in 80. I'm so absolutely fine.